I get Prime and Feastables?
It's nice. The cheese tastes like actual cheese.
It was good.
Fire.
It actually is so
Fire.
After watching that video, I scrolled down to the comments and I saw one that perfectly captured the emotion of it, where it basically said that MrBeast is the Diddy of YouTube. And that honestly is a perfect analogy. Now, it's not exactly one-to-one. MrBeast is not selling bottles of baby oil. He doesn't have a mansion full of a bunch of illicit compounds and chemicals like the Riddler. But he is someone who has, over the years, and especially the past 2 years, really showed himself to be a very corporate individual. He's very business-like, and he doesn't like anyone criticizing him, especially if they're criticizing something about his business. Now, you can see that lately with Lunchly, where people have been coming out and saying that it's, you know, basically a Lunchables knockoff, and he has made multiple videos with Logan Paul and KSI saying that it's amazing, the cheese is drippy, they love it, it's delicious, and no matter what, they're basically selling the product.
It's actually pretty good.
Now, the thing is, MrBeast is someone who has a lot of power on YouTube, and because of that, that's where the Diddy effect kicks in. Is that the thing that was not so weird about Diddy is not that he was a freak and had freak offs, it's the fact that he was an industry titan, someone who came up with Biggie Smalls, took all that clout and popularity, and used it meticulously to make other people's do what he wanted and manipulate them. Similarly, so MrBeast, having so much YouTube clout, so much industry clout on the internet space, he basically says things and moves mountains, and he does not like it when people are disrespectful to him or even not sucking up to him, because there's a video that someone made about 2 years ago as a joke, tasting MrBeast's burger and basically giving an honest review. First of all, he starts off by saying things like it isn't that great and it doesn't taste that good. But soon after, immediately realizes that MrBeast is getting pissed off and doesn't like it. So he decides to be a little bit more genuine, a little bit more honest, and even that isn't good enough.
We're doing a burger review. Burger review. We're just seeing Tommy likes our burger.
But I was, well, I'm still me, so I'm not gonna change.
What do you think?
You like Jimmy?
Best burger you've ever had?
I said, this was filmed before the lawsuit.
It is a 6.5 out of 10, baby.
You forgot a couple numbers. What do you not like about it?
It's nice.
No, it's great. It's the greatest burger you've ever had.
I said,
No, but I like it.
What do you not like about it?
I like that it's free.
No, you have to tell us why it's just 6 out of 10.
Well, I'm a vegan for starters.
Cut.
Still explode.
Alright.
It's not.
you can see the exact moment I realized that my jokes are not landing. Right here.
So after being fair and saying that MrBeast's burger is pretty good, and also in that video he does mention that MrBeast went on to sue the company that makes his burgers because they were subpar, and personally, as an individual who has a huge hunchback of Notre Dame, I've tried most foods, and I did try the MrBeast burger, and it's trash. It's pretty mediocre. The French fries are surprisingly bad because they're like Ora-Ida freezer fries. The burger itself, the patty itself is basic. The cheese is Kraft singles that you get from, you know, Great Value from Walmart. And it's a pretty whatever meal. And the only reason people bought it is because of the flashy marketing and the fact that it's tied to MrBeast. And there's nothing wrong with that. If MrBeast would have just come out and say that I push products and I make money, that'd be great. But he has to go on to say that it's a perfect burger, it's an amazing burger, and that anyone who says differently must be crazy. And even after Tommy Innit says that it's an okay burger, that's not good enough for MrBeast, which is insane. And what's funny to me is that you can tell Tommy Innit decided to make this video to make MrBeast mad, but he didn't realize how mad MrBeast would be. And in my opinion, if Tommy Innit had not put this video publicly, it would have basically been something that would have went come and gone and wouldn't have been a big deal. But with the recent news and the recent videos and the recent negativity, I think that it basically just stands as a staple to say that MrBeast really gets mad when he sees things that are not pro MrBeast. And what's funny to me is that there was a video of Keith Lee trying MrBeast's chocolate bar, and similarly MrBeast had the same effect and same emotion, but this one is a little bit different. The reason why it's a little bit different is because Keith Lee is a food reviewer. All he does on TikTok and online is he goes to different restaurants, he tries them out, his review can make or break a restaurant deciding on how he's feeling about it. And I think he realizes that, and he's usually pretty nice, and he doesn't try to be too negative because he realizes he has a bunch of low IQ individuals who are following him, and they literally will either praise or basically deride a business based off his opinion. And he tried the chocolate bar with MrBeast. Now, MrBeast, again, he has multiple products. He actually recently made a like MrBeast gotcha game in real life where you basically pull random toys that are X% of rarity. And the only reason I know about it is because I went to 7-Eleven and saw it, and I said, damn, bro, like how many businesses this guy got? He's like the Elon Musk of YouTube. Bro has 8 different businesses and he's running them all poorly. No, not really. I'm sure he's profitable, but they all are products that are geared towards little kids. And honestly, if you're a parent and you have a child under the age of 10, you might want to block MrBeast, because he's gonna have your pockets hurting this Christmas, because goddamn does he have a lot of products. Between Lunchly, the MrBeast Feastable candy bar, the Prime sponsorship that is now in bed with him, the burgers, and now the new gotcha game that is coming out before Christmas. Oh man, your pocket's gonna be hurting. It is expensive out here. But back to Keith Lee. Keith Lee basically ate the candy bar and said it was okay. He didn't say it was terrible. He didn't say it was trash. He just said it was all right.
Milk chocolate. It's just a milk chocolate bar. Compare it to Hershey's, which I know you probably never eat Hershey's because they're terrible. Never met anyone that likes Hershey's. And how would you compare that to one?
It's a little too sweet.
To live with that?
It's not bad. It is a lot sweeter than what I would like, though. 7 out of 10.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
We're still figuring it out.
That's a good start. It's a good starting spot, though.
All right, you know what? Let's rip up. All right, here, I got it. Here. All right, this is our Crunch Bar.
Okay. This is the one you believe in.
Yes.
It's not crazy, Jimmy.
No?
No.
You don't like Crunch Bars?
I do like Crunch Bars, but again, it's too sweet.
Let me try this. Maybe these are defective. Oh my
like
God, this tastes good to me.
Wait, we're supposed to be ranking them. I rated the first one, so we going completely off of.
Oh,
we
well,
going completely off of.
we're in too deep. I rate this a 10 out of 10. I give this an 11 out of 10.
But for MrBeast, this wasn't good enough. Much like the Tommy Innit video, he has to say why. Why is it bad? Give me reasons. It starts off at a 10, and from there you need to work your way down point by point. Because my candy bar is amazing. It's better than Hershey's. It's better than these companies that have been in business for decades and eons and have done more testing and more actual work than me. My candy bar is amazing. My candy bar is the best. And the thing is, Keith Lee didn't even really shit on it. He didn't even say anything that was that negative. The fact that he wasn't slurping MrBeast and simping for him made it so that he actually, in my opinion, I could be wrong here, but it looks like he removed the video because this was uploaded a month ago, and on his YouTube anyway, and I saw this a way long time ago. And the comments also say the reason for the re-upload is because MrBeast was so sensitive and his PR department is so salty that it seems like it might have been unlisted and relisted or re-uploaded. Case in point, if it wasn't for all the negativity of MrBeast going on around on YouTube, I think that this interview would have been buried, and mostly because of the fact that Keith Lee is a grown man and doesn't really want to have beef with MrBeast, the Diddy of YouTube. But it's pretty cringe thinking that MrBeast actually sees this in person and actually has the gall to say, what's wrong with it exactly? Give me a play-by-play. You're gonna have to go down here. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to go from the Diddy of YouTube to the Suge Knight of YouTube. I'm gonna have to start breaking kneecaps and getting information from you as to why this is so bad. And what's crazy about this is that MrBeast, again, has all this power, and in all reality, he's just like a little twerp, a little kid. He's someone who's, you know, a young adult now, but he started off as a teenager on YouTube. And it's like, bro, you're not an industry mogul. You're a guy. He's very corporate, and he's very well versed in corporatism. And you can see that even after the recent videos basically exposing him and disrespecting him, he did not make a video back, and that is more than likely because a lawyer advised him not to, which basically tells me MrBeast is the definition of corporate. But at the same time, MrBeast in himself does a lot of shadow realm movements. He does a lot of from the behind the scenes actions. He's kind of like, now this is gonna go into the autism verse, but if you ever listen to a radio show called Opie and Anthony, they swear that their show was sabotaged and repeatedly harassed by Howard Stern, not on the radio, because Howard Stern was corporate enough and smart enough not to say anything on the radio, but behind the scenes, he would talk to guests, he would talk to people and say, hey, don't do that show, make sure you do my show, and then he would do certain backroom deals to make sure that he destroyed other people from the background. And that sounds like something that MrBeast would do as well, considering the fact that his word is enough to shake fear into people. And even when it comes to something that isn't that popular, because there was a podcast clip from a podcast that doesn't exist of Scumbag Dad, aka I think his name's like Kyle Brady or something. And he basically went on to say that he went on a podcast and he had said some negative things about MrBeast and other people. And at this time, I think this was a year ago, and it wasn't that popular. Maybe it had a couple thousand views. It wasn't anything too crazy, but MrBeast caught wind of it. MrBeast saw it and expressed his dissatisfaction. Not saying you should remove it, not saying that it should go away, but from a friend to a friend, from a whisper to a whisper, through the grapevine, it came to be known that MrBeast did not appreciate the gesture.
I was on a podcast. This podcast was very critical of MrBeast. Once we uploaded it, within probably an hour, the person who ran the podcast got a message from someone who knew MrBeast personally. MrBeast had expressed disappointment with the podcast, and due to political and business reasons, the podcast was taken down. I'm sad that the podcast is down because I raged on it quite a bit, on like this that I complain about normally. But the fact that the podcast wasn't popular, nobody really saw it, but MrBeast and Dogpack404 both saw it within like 2 hours of it being posted, it made me think like, wow, even a god can bleed.
And as such, the people on that podcast, however many, ended up losing whatever time and money because the creator decided to can it, destroy it, delete it. And this was just because MrBeast said he didn't appreciate that. That is some mobster activity. That is some Diddy manipulation. That is absolutely positively insane that your word can move mountains. Your dissatisfaction can basically tell other people that, listen, if I'm not happy, you're not happy. And when I'm not happy, I'm gonna make sure you're not happy, because at the end of the day, my word is bond. I got a lot of YouTube creators in my pocket. I know a lot of people. They come to me to ask me a question. You know, first of all, he's like the mob boss of YouTube. Before anybody does anything, it's like, come talk to me, come see me. You're gonna make your own lunch break, let me know. Let me know. I got my chocolate bar. I'm with KSI. He's got the Prime. We've got a whole organization here that if we were to come together, we can make a lot of money. But if you go against me, we're gonna have problems. All of a sudden, the waste management in MrBeast comes out. All of a sudden, he turns into Tony Soprano, and he's ready to start busting heads if they go against his bag. And what's crazy to me is that MrBeast has gotten to the point now where he's almost like a parody, where he just does things that he knows will get popular, even if it is quote unquote cringe. Like, he doesn't really care. As long as it sells a product, he could care less. Like on his Instagram, or Lunchly Instagram, he has a video of him sitting in the theater eating Lunchly, watching the Talk to a podcast while listening to KSI. Now, obviously, you have to peel away the layers here. Obviously, they didn't actually do that. But the fact that he actually had a bunch of people go in a theater, he had a bunch of people take Lunchly, he actually ate it, they actually filmed it, and he actually went through all that effort and all that energy just to capture a little bit of virality. It's just cringe, bro. It's just so cringe. And here's the thing. I'm talking hella smack about this because it's cringe, but at the same time, I'm a brokey. I have a broke mindset. MrBeast does everything calculated where a dollar amount is coming at the end of it. So maybe I'm just out of touch. Maybe I'm the dummy. Maybe I'm the idiot who's putting a little bit too much precedence into this whole righteousness idea, this whole idea of not being cringe, because MrBeast has multiple businesses now, including his YouTube channel. And, you know, he's living large, and in about a year or two, he'll probably shake off all these negative comments and all these different people. And MrBeast does not forget, and MrBeast sees all. It doesn't matter if you're getting 1,000 views a minute or 1,000 views a millennia. He's gonna see this video, he's gonna hear what I'm saying, and eventually he's gonna pay me a visit. And when the diddler comes knocking, you better watch out, because there ain't nothing going on but a baby oil beatdown. And Lord knows I'm gonna pay for my sins for what I'm saying now, but somebody had to come out and say it, that MrBeast is the Diddy of YouTube.
At the end of every single video, make sure you ask people to rate and subscribe to your content. It makes them feel like they're involved even though they're really not. And most importantly, make sure they comment on every single video. If you have to, disguise it. You know, call it something like the question of the day. And really make them think you're gonna really read it when you really don't have to. Ha ha ha!